You just did your topic selection, and now it's time to start your outline. So, your outline is typically a template that is provided in the module. Please make sure you use the template in the module. Some templates will have the prompt directly on the actual template. If that is the case, you need to use the prompt that is on the actual outline. If it's not on the outline, the prompt will be in the module. So take a look at the module and see if it gives you instructions on what your topic should be. And also use the template. The template and the rubric are in alignment. So if you do something outside of the outline and the template that's provided for the outline, you will potentially lose points. So you definitely want to make sure that you're in alignment. If your topic is unsafe, your instructor will ask you to change your topic. That's okay. Does not mean that you did anything wrong. It's just that in an academic setting, it is your instructor's responsibility to make sure everyone's safe. And if the topic itself may be okay for you, it may be triggering for someone else. So the instructor may ask you to make those changes, and that's okay. Okay? No matter when that happens, it is a part of the academic setting. Okay? So it is the instructor's job to keep everybody safe, and sometimes that has to do with topics. So let's go back to the informative outline. So you just picked your topic, it's a safe topic, your instructor's okay with it. You're going to go ahead and start looking at that template. You're going to see there's Roman numerals for the main parts of the outline, which is your introduction, the body of the speech, and the conclusion. Depending on what the template looks like, the template may have 5 parts for the introduction, or in some cases, it may have 3 parts. So if it does have 3 parts, it is usually something like who, what, and why. Okay, so why is this important for your audience? How are you going to get the audience attention? And what are some main points you're going to talk about? Okay. So informative speeches usually have 3 parts: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. In the body of the speech, you will find usually 2 to 3 main points that you're going to be discussing. So it could be like if you're doing it on how to travel, it would be what's the best way to travel, what's some sites for traveling, and what's the top 5 places you can travel. Okay, so I'm just making this up as I go along, but those are 3 parts of that particular speech. And then the body of the speech, rather, and the conclusion would be I just discussed the different ways that you can travel, the best ways, the best kind of deals for traveling, and the top 5 places that I have gone that I suggest you try. Okay, so after you've summarized it, then you want to also make sure you give some action steps. Check this out. You may find that you discover a new place you never knew before, or discover a travel hack that I discussed in this speech, or you learned something new about traveling you didn't know. And you can kind of insert different things. But most importantly, as you are in the body of the speech, you want to make sure you have support of anything that you say. So there should be some facts, some figures, a personal story to go along with it. The sweet spot that I always encourage students to do is to have a fact, figure, or graph, or statistics, and a story to go along with it. So whatever the hard science, the logos part of it, you want to add some pathos, which is the emotional part of it. And that's for every single point that you have. That is the sweet spot. If you can't do it the first time, do it with the second speech or the third speech, what have you. In the conclusion, you want to make sure that you are sharing good information and closing it out memorably, and making sure that your audience is fully aware of what you discuss. So most importantly, have fun with this. Know that you are telling a story. Some quick hacks that I tell students is to start with the story and end with the story. That's a really good way to do your speech. Or you have a story that you tell that continues on and use as examples from beginning to end. But for your first speech, I would suggest doing start with the story, end with the story. Okay, so thank you so much for attending this podcast as we discuss modules and what you may encounter in an online course, and also try it out for yourself. Start with a 30-second story or start with a small little story and see how that goes. And can you make it in 30 seconds? Challenge yourself. And if you can't do it in 30 seconds, try it again. Try it as many times as you need so that you can get the practice in. So I'm excited about what you will learn and how you will challenge yourself, because communication is fun and I want you to enjoy it just as much as I do. Enjoy your day. Bye.